Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 65 of Superannuated Starman. We are back yet again. I'm your host, Sean Ryan, and as always, I'm joined by Chris Duerksen. Chris, how you doing? And Cory Braucks.
I am in no way associated with that man.
This game was suggested by Cory. We're going to be talking about an arcade staple of the 80s and the early 90s. That's Rampage. Specifically, we'll be discussing Rampage World Tour.
We'll be discussing Rampage, the 2018 film with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Actually, that does come up, so stick around, and when we come back, we will discuss the game's history. Designed by Jeff Nauman, programmer, and Brian Cullen, artist, Rampage is a 1986 arcade action game developed and published by Bally Midway. And if that name sounds odd, here's a brief detour about the history of Midway. The company originally started in 1958 and was known as Midway Manufacturing until 1982, when the company changed their name to Bally Midway. But this only lasted for 6 years because in 1988, they changed back to Midway Manufacturing and maintained that name until 1996, when they changed their name one final time to Midway Game Incorporated, or just more commonly known as Midway.
Is that why you see the old pinball games have Bally Midway on them?
That is it.
Oh, yep.
Rampage, where you will control one of 3 enormous monsters as you terrorize and destroy various cities. Your options are between George, a King Kong-like gorilla who was originally a scientist before an accident involving experimental vitamins transformed him into the hulking beast he is. Right? Lizzie, who is just a normal woman enjoying a pleasant swim in a local lake that was unknowingly contaminated with radioactive waste, mutated into a giant Godzilla-like reptile. Or Ralph, who turned into a gigantic werewolf after eating a hot dog that had an unknown food additive.
And the company's name is like Scum Labs, right?
Scum Labs, yep.
Yeah.
You will climb, punch, and jump on buildings, reducing them to rubble while trying to avoid helicopter attacks and other sources of damage while you rampage around various cities. The original game takes place over the course of 128 different cities across North America, starting in Peoria, Illinois, and ending in Plano, Illinois. Some home ports have you starting in San Jose and ending in Los Angeles, California. Development started when Brian and Jeff put their heads together and decided to create an arcade game that had, quote, no wrong way to play. Turning their backs on the default playstyle of the time where players just competed for a high score and then died, they wanted players to have more fun destroying things like entire cities. The idea behind destroying cities really came about because of graphical limitations. Unable to do much more than move rectangular shapes in the background, simplistic skyscrapers were chosen for players to demolish. This meant that a lot of these cities look strikingly similar. Other limitations meant that Ralph and George were just palette swaps with the exception of a unique head for each. After the release, they added more difficult levels and a fun Easter egg in the opening cutscene reporting on the transformed human that they added photos of themselves. Jeff as Ralph, Brian as George, and Brian even included his wife as Lizzie.
That's fun.
Some obvious inspirations for the monsters came from classic horror, King Kong, and you'd think Godzilla, but Brian actually said in a statement that Lizzie is based off of a monster named Ymir from a 1957 sci-fi film titled 20 Million Miles to Earth. He went on to say that Godzilla simply would have been too large, which I get, but that's got to be like the nerdiest reason not to claim Godzilla as the inspiration.
A couple of like games.
Well, actually, Godzilla is much larger.
It's the correct person to be saying that claim if you think about it.
That's fair, but it's definitely a well actually moment. The game itself was very successful and received a ton of ports. One notable one is the Atari Lynx version by Epix, which included a fourth character, Larry, a giant rat.
I do remember that.
Really? Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Talk about this in your history segment. I want to in your childhood memories. I want to hear that. Also notable, but not for good reasons, the NES port reduced the number of monsters to 2, removing Ralph entirely. Years later, in 1997, Rampage World Tour was released and developed by Midway. The series went on to have several sequels and spin-offs. Universal Tour, Rampage Through Time, Puzzle Attack, Total Destruction are just a few of the games that came out. 2 decades later, Warner Brothers, who incidentally bought Midway, released a full-length feature film titled Rampage, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, as Cory mentioned earlier. The film is very loosely based on the game series, and in my personal opinion, it's not very good at all. But my opinion means nothing, as the film went on to gross $428 million on a $140 million budget.
Wait, are you serious? I didn't think anybody actually ever watched it.
$428 million.
Oh my, but because of The Rock.
Because of The Rock.
Yeah. Is there anybody else notable in that movie? Apparently not.
But with that, I'm going to close out the history segment unless either of you have anything.
No, it's a really old game.
It is. And with that, when we come back, we'll hear from Cory and his memories on this game. So stick around.
We're back. So I guess it's up to me to kick this off because I am the only one that likes it.
Oh no! I love this game.
Okay, you enjoyed it?
I've loved this game since I was a kid. This has been one of my favorites.
So yeah, like my childhood memories of this. So I've definitely played this in arcades. Like this is definitely the one where if you could find it at like a movie theater or something, this was a great way for me to kill like 15 minutes. But at one point, Midway released a disc for, I want to say it was the GameCube. And it was like the Midway Collectors series or something like that. And this was on it, I believe. And I do remember having the copy for the PS1 as well. So I've had like kind of several iterations of this. And you really don't play this game to beat it. Like, there is an ending, and it's like 125 levels to play. But in my opinion, this is just kind of like one of those like mindless, entertaining things you can pick up for 20 minutes and just be like, I want to vent some frustration by like stomping on buildings and eating little people. And that's kind of like where like the thought process is as like a child is just like, oh, it's cool. Like you get to blow stuff up and like and be big monster basically.
And you said that perfectly. There was no other point to this game.
Oh no, and literally there it's so this is kind of the era of Pac-Man and Galaga and everything else where the games are very simplistic and they never change the formula. So you kind of look at things like Sonic the Hedgehog where it's like an evolved franchise or Super Mario where they've like done a lot with it and it's like a big anchor flagship where they've changed the way it plays and it becomes 3D and it you know they really like did a lot of kind of thought-provoking evolution with it, or like Legend of Zelda, that sort of thing. This is just the same formula reused over and over, and the graphics get better, and they've released like 9 copies of it, or however many of these games were made. And like it's just they haven't really done anything with it, but to me it's just fun. It's just a fun title, and I remember like killing summers, especially because it's co-op. Like you can sit there with a buddy and you can just kind of like go for high score and just eat people and knock down buildings and like there's
and also fight each other. Like
you can there's like the combats activates. You can just punch people too. So it's just fun.
When I was a kid, there weren't many, weren't a whole lot of co-op games where you could both be playing on the same screen at the same time. So like this is a game that I had as a kid, and when I had people over, like this just became a default go-to game just for that reason.
Wait. You had this as a kid? I don't remember this at all. What system?
On the original Nintendo.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
I love this game.
You got anything
Well,
else?
do you have
Sorry.
anything you want to add to
Oh,
that?
sorry, I didn't know if Cory was still going.
No, I'm good. You go ahead.
I mean, you summed it right. I mean, like this is not a deep game. It was definitely different than Mario or Ninja Turtles, but yeah, like this Double Dragon 2 was like my
Oh
go-to.
man,
Oh, we should play that game next. Um,
we should play Battletoads and Double Dragon.
no, I don't. Well,
Double Dragon
maybe.
3 is the best one.
Okay. Double Dragon is the next pick. I don't
Well,
care
it's
what.
his pick. Don't
Yeah.
let us Shanghai you into
Oh no,
a.
no. I see.
Anyway, all right. So
Yeah.
Chris, you'll tell us at the end of the show what game we're going to play next.
Oh, it's gonna be one of the Double Dragons.
Fair enough.
Billy Lee, Jimmy Lee.
But yeah, I mean, like this was just a good game to throw on and just kind of have fun with and destroy stuff. I had no idea there was an end because, to be honest,
But
like
you
this
don't
is one
get
of
to
those.
it.
Yeah, this is one of those games where I restarted. Like I got killed off and had to restart every 5 minutes, which is fantastic because besides the levels getting harder and just more guys, more people shooting at you, there's not a whole lot of difference. Like everything's kind of the same. But it was just dumb, fun entertainment.
And I tried it a few times out in the arcade as a kid, but it just didn't hold anything for me. I'd play, it was fun to waste a few minutes, but at the end of the day, I just didn't really feel much for the game. So I just bounced right off of it, went to play something else in the arcade because I felt my quarters were better spent somewhere else. I never owned a copy of this game as a kid. It might have been in one of those midway collections like you were talking about, Cory, because I've got a shelf full of games back here, so it's probably somewhere in my room, but not that I knew about it, and nothing that I ever played as a kid. And I don't remember playing this at your house at all.
Well, I mean, by the time we were playing games together, that was definitely in the Super Nintendo and 64 era.
Yeah, that is true. It was a
I
little
mean,
later.
yeah, but by the time we were playing together, my Nintendo was packed up for a long time. Well, relative to our age, long time being
Yeah,
a couple years.
that's fair. You guys have anything else for this, or are you ready to move on to the current day playthrough?
We do current day.
Okay. Well, everyone, stick around and enjoy this music. When we come right back, we're going to be talking about what it's like to replay Rampage in 2026. Welcome back, everybody. We were just talking about off air some of the additions and differences from the earlier Rampage games, specifically the addition of Larry the Rat and his inclusion in the Atari Lynx. And I'm going to stitch in that conversation right here.
I put a picture of Larry the Rat in Rampage Universal Tour 2.
That's what he looks like?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, in the Atari version, he looks way different.
I bet.
This thing was on Atari.
Oh, yeah.
The Lynx.
What did that look like?
There you go. It was right there. I just sent it to you.
That is really impressive.
Wow, dude, those are Atari graphics?
The Lynx.
Yeah, the bottom one, Larry.
Larry the Rat.
That looks better than what I remember my Nintendo version.
The
looking.
Nintendo. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm not
But it's
surprised there at all.
Atari.
But it's the Lynx.
Wait, what's the Lynx?
LYNX.
Is that like the super version of Atari?
Yes.
It was a handheld console that Atari developed that came out in, I want to say 89, 90, something like that. And
Oh, okay. So it was actually more modern than an NES.
Yeah, yes. It was more modern than the NES, and it was like Atari's answer to the Game Boy.
And it was color.
It was. I mean, you're looking at the.
So I mean, I'd say wouldn't that put it above the Game Boy?
Yeah, but there was a lot of things that were better than the Game Boy, but they just couldn't beat the Nintendo marketing brand.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the marketing.
So you had the Sega Game Gear, which tried and failed.
Well, but that was pretty cool. I like the Game Gear.
It was great, but again, it just couldn't stand up against the Game Boy. You also did you ever see the Sega Nomad?
No.
The Sega Nomad was a portable Sega Genesis. You could plug in actual Sega carts and play it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was awesome. But for discussing what it's like to replay Rampage in the modern day, I'm the dissenting opinion today. This was just
Slog.
brutal for me. Yes, a slog is definitely the best way to put it. I can understand the mindlessness and that being a good way to just kind of enjoy yourself by just shutting your mind down and just playing through the game, but I can't see how there were so many iterations of this game. It's just not good enough for a sequel. Like in 1986, I could understand this being an arcade hit. That makes sense to me. It wasn't for me at that age and at that time in my life, but I don't understand how this went on to spawn a successful franchise. It was just so repetitive. It wasn't very fun. I probably would have enjoyed it more playing couch co-op, but I did play it by myself, so I don't have that experience to really discuss on. And if either of you played it with someone else, let me know. I'd like to hear that opinion as well.
I played with Gibbs, so this was
Oh
awesome.
man, okay, yeah. So I can't wait to hear your side, Chris. But for me, man, it just was not fun. Like, does each character have like unique abilities?
No,
Like,
they're all the same.
No, they're big monster.
okay, that's what I thought because I tried it with each of them. I was like, maybe it's different playing this one. Maybe.
Nope.
Dude,
Oh my
No, you're
god!
overthinking it. This game is really just turn your brain off and just enjoy the dumb fun.
I did not have any fun. That's the problem. Is that I tried. I tried it with each of the characters. I played it mostly on the N64. Guys, it just wasn't there for me. I tried
it's fair.
and I couldn't do it. This is a massive double thumbs down.
That's a little harsh, don't you think?
No, no, it's not. It's better than that Jurassic Park filth that you made us play, but
Oh,
it's not fun. It is not fun at all. So I will bow out of the conversation. I do want to hear about yours, Chris and Cory, because you were the one that brought this to us. I'd like you to kind of close out the segment, Chris. I can't wait to hear about playing with Gibbs. So tell us about that.
so Gibbs enjoyed this in the same way that I did when I was 8 years old, which is you turn it on, you just destroy stuff for 5 minutes. It's funny. The 64 had a little bit more comedy built into it just because it had the capability to have something built into it.
You're talking about like the opening intro cutscene and all that.
That and also there's one stage where if you eat toxic goo or something like that, you mutate even farther and you get like bat wings and
Yeah, you become a big bat monster.
yeah,
and you can
and
fly.
Gibbs just thought that was the coolest thing ever.
There's other little like Easter eggs where like you can eat something and you'll spit fire, or like you can like get electrocuted by power lines and stuff.
You get sick and throw up. And,
yeah, you
like
start barfing.
Like so, he was enjoying it in the same way as
With childlike whimsy.
Exactly. He'd never seen it before. He never played a game where the whole purpose, I mean, the closest thing is Goat Simulator, where you just run around and cause chaos. So he loved it, and the fact that it was co-op. Normally, Gibbs does not like to play games with me in any sort of form. So the fact that we were playing this together, it just filled my heart with joy. And since this was also a childhood game of mine, the 64 version is basically the same thing as the NES version, which I appreciate. Like I said, it had a little bit more cooler graphics and a third character to choose from instead of two. And it was just fun. Just we played it for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes at a time. I'll admit, there's one time we were playing it. It was a night. I was like starting to get sleepy. We were playing on the projector in his room, and I started falling asleep, and he just kept going. And I have no idea how many levels that he made it, but I woke up, felt like an hour later, and he was still playing it on the same continue.
Jesus.
Yes, yeah, he just kept going, and I was just like, "Where are you at? Like, what stage is this? Like, what is going on?" Apparently, when you're in two-player mode, you just get infinite continues. So he was just able just to keep going forever, and I just never like I don't know if died is the right word for it, but when I lost my lives, I just didn't hit the continue button anymore.
You
So
set the controller down and let him
yeah,
go.
exactly. So yeah, I set the controller down, nodded off to sleep, and he was just able just to keep going
Okay.
in two-player mode for an endless amount of time.
That is super wholesome.
Yeah, and it was just so much fun, and he likes it. Like, it's when I told him that there was a movie, he was like, "Oh my god, can we watch it?" I was like, "Maybe," like, and we never got around to it.
You're gonna be disappointed, kid. The
Yeah,
monkey is not actually a guy. It's a
oh,
monkey.
but
Have you both seen the film?
I've
no,
seen I've
no.
I've seen like a stupid review of it. I've not actually wasted money watching that film.
I didn't spend a penny, but I did watch the film just for this show.
Oh wow,
And it is,
bad.
oh, it is just absolute trash. I can't imagine how this thing made over $400 million.
Which I mean,
Love the
hey,
Rock, man.
that's better than what the Mario movie did. So the first Mario movie, not the current one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I was
So
like, that thing
so
made over a
yeah, I mean,
billion.
so think about that. Like, does that make Rampage more successful than their original Mario game? I think so, right?
Okay.
This is the
Got some logic here.
most
All
iconic
right.
Nintendo
And we're
game
going to
ever.
mute Chris. Corey,
Yes, sir.
talk to us about playing the game today.
I'm more in your camp on the modern day playthrough. I'd still love this title, but um it gets tedious, and it's not something I like. We're kind of playing this because we have to, like, we're doing it for this content basically. And as I'm sitting down playing it, it's kind of like a chore. It was just not something I wanted to do for more than 15 minutes, and going through
Agreed.
all 128 levels or whatever it was to like get to the end, like I was just like, wow, this is too much Rampage.
Did you actually do it? Or did you only
Oh
spend 15
yeah.
minutes? Okay, okay.
No, I went through. I blitzed through it as fast as I could.
I couldn't make it through 128 different stages. I did my best.
Yeah, you get to space.
That's pretty cool. I did not get very far, no matter
I
which
did it
character.
once as a kid.
What?
Why didn't you talk about
Yeah,
that?
right.
It's really
Oh well, because
impressive.
I don't know.
That's like a huge part
How
about like
long
what we
did
talk
Yeah,
that
about in
well,
take?
childhood
I think
memories.
it took several hours, but it was kind of the same thing where Chris was talking. I think we had just like infinite continues because it was a co-op thing, and me and my sister ended up doing it. And like you eventually get to space, and like the later levels, like there's like this weird monster boss creature. He's like a big fat thing.
Wait. It has bosses?
Right?
Yeah, hold on. I'm looking up. I'm trying to get a photo
Well, I
for
mean,
you.
while he's doing that, I mean, this kind of goes back to my thing we talked about in a previous episode. I didn't know you could even leave your Nintendo on this long without it blowing up the house or something. Like, there's no way I would have spent hours playing this game as a kid. Like, I thought it would have melted your Nintendo.
I have probably mentioned this story before while we're still waiting on Corey, but I left my Nintendo on overnight one time and it fried it.
Mm-hmm.
That was like in the very like first few days that we bought it, and my parents were pissed. They were furious. We took it back. It got repaired or switched out. I don't know what the deal was, but we got it back. And after that, it was you are never allowed to leave this thing on when you're not
See,
playing.
and those are the kind of stories where, like, I have no logical reason why I thought leaving your Nintendo on would melt it. But it's probably stories like that, and there was no internet back then, so like, it just becomes urban legend that yeah, Johnny fell asleep with his Nintendo on and it melted down his house. Like
Well, the playground was where we got the vast majority of our gaming information back
everything.
then,
Yep.
but we also got to think about like there were some surge protectors at that
Yeah,
time.
dude, the
You know, if
original
there were,
Nintendo control wasn't even. I mean, not control. The electrical cord wasn't even grounded. It was just a two prong.
yeah, exactly. So there was a lot of reasons for why these things did short out like they did.
Oh man! And speaking back of like playground stuff, this was one of those games that had no playground discussions to it. Like there were no codes, there were no.
Oh yeah, no one was talking about this, which is funny because there are actually secret levels to this game too. I don't know if you guys knew that.
Was not aware of that either.
Well, you're about to tell us, so I'm excited to hear.
So, fun thing, you mentioned that the game takes place across America. It is actually a world tour because when you get past the 80s, you end up going to like Rio de Janeiro and like Germany and a bunch of other locations.
Well, I think the original game was only set in North America.
Okay, well, I know that past like 80, there's other countries that you can get to because it goes up to like 128 or something.
I think when I woke up, Gibson was like in Russia. Like, not even kidding.
Yeah, like and they start putting like landmarks and stuff into it. It's a lot of fun. But so there are 5 secret levels. So when you get to Atlanta, you have to use your character to input the like specific button. So when you get to Atlanta, if you're playing George, you have to punch 3 times. If you're Lizzie, it's Lizzie you punch 3 times. You have to jump 3 times for George and kick 3 times for Ralph. So if you get to Atlanta and you do that 3 times, you'll unlock Suburbia, where every level is small. And if you get to Fairbanks and do it, you unlock the Underworld. And when you get to Louisville, you'll get the Warehouse. And if you go to Phoenix, you'll get Area 69, and you'll get San Diego, you'll get Caleb City.
That all sounds super interesting, but I just can't put myself through this to experience it.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to do it. I think I did unlock the Warehouse one time because it takes you like a Scum Labs bio building or whatever, and like it's just a big like crate warehouse that you fight in, and it was probably just me button mashing trying to get through the stage or whatever that made it happen. So I do remember that happening before, but I don't remember what we were talking. Oh, right, the boss monster. I still didn't get you a photo of that. But yeah, so there's secret levels in this game. I've seen that happen before, and yeah, it's just a long title.
Well, with all that out of the way, let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll discuss our final thoughts. Is this something that we're going to keep playing? Is it something we're going to shelve? Or is it going to be something that we try to get a brain enema and permanently remove from our memories? Stick around. Welcome back, everyone. This is our last segment where we discuss our final thoughts of the game. I'm going to go ahead and go first because you already know exactly where I stand. I did not enjoy this. I did not have fun. This is not a game I would ever recommend to anybody, even for some type of historical, like, hey, you should go ahead and experience this. There's a million other games that of the time that are better. So literally play anything else. I think you'll have a lot more fun. So, Chris, what are your thoughts?
Sean, really quick, if you look at the boss there, you'll see the guy, like the CEO of Scum Labs, he turns into this monster at the last stages.
Oh, that's pretty interesting.
Oh my god, it looks like a...
It's like a big slug dude.
Really? Okay. I mean, it's very fitting.
Anyway, Chris, it's your turn.
Oh, what was the question?
Final thoughts, bro.
It's not a great game, but it is I don't know. I've got nostalgia for it, so I will like it. But like Sean, I mean, there's not a lot of purpose to this game. It is just a fun little time killer. I don't know if I actually ever spent money on this. I don't know how I got the game when I got it from a kid. I think I got it from like a used bin, or I didn't get it brand new. It was not on my Christmas list when I was a kid or anything like that. It just was one of those games I just happened to get. and it ended up being one of my favorites. But I don't even remember how I got it. But yeah, like I don't know if I'd tell anybody to go out of their way to play this. I asked Gibson, like when he played it with me and he ended up loving it. I asked him to play this with me because for this episode.
Well, that really worked out, and it's awesome that he
Yeah,
enjoys
exactly.
it. But
And
it
I
must.
really and I really loved playing it with him. But had I not been playing it for this episode, I would have not have showed it to him or told him to play it. So
I get it.
I hope that answers answers the question.
Cory,
Hmm?
what do you think?
I like it. Like I said, I like it less now as an adult because I think I think the party system is part of the appeal, and the fact that Chris had someone to like sit down and play with him is part of the fun of it.
I am a little envious. Yeah.
It is just one of those like entertaining, like kind of no mind things though, where it's like, yeah, we'll get in here and just blow stuff up and have a good time. And if it had a little more substance to it, I think it'd be more interesting. But it's still something where like I can pick it up and just kind of go like big building fall down, and like it kind of scratches that like that monkey brain neuron, for a little bit, and then it just gets like old very fast.
I think that's exactly how I felt about it. That I did enjoy like going around and smashing things, eating people, wreaking havoc. It's fun, but it got. I don't know. Again, I don't understand how this became a franchise because
I
that
don't
was
either.
exciting for all of about 3 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm with you there. I think this could have been something far more interesting if they spent time on it. Like if they were like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna like create some other stuff. We're gonna give you some objectives. Like maybe you're looking for something, and like because like there's a certain number of buildings you have to break in a time limit. And then there's the total destruction bonus or whatever. Like maybe if you could gather something during the levels, like kind of like Banjo Kazooie style or something, they could have fleshed it out as they put more iterations out and given us like something to be more engaging. But as the game is, like, it's perfectly serviceable in my opinion. It gets tedious if you're not doing something. Like if we were all together and we had a couple drinks and we were just kind of like screwing around, this would be much more entertaining.
It'd be a blast, but that was not
For
the case.
10 minutes.
There was no blast. I think it could be more than that. It could.
Dude, especially if we were like talking smack and trading controllers and being like, all right, my high score's 300,000 points. Like, I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, couch co-op adds such a different dynamic to things that I think is lost on a lot of games today. And yeah, this probably was great with an N64 and 4 controllers, but I just don't see it. I just don't see it. But guys, I think that's going to wrap up this episode. Chris, what did you decide? What game are we going to play for the next show?
For the next show, we are going with another childhood favorite of mine. For the Nintendo Entertainment System, the original
Izzy's quest for the Olympic rings. I'm sorry.
Double Dragon.
The original?
The original Double Dragon.
The original Double Dragon.
Okay.
I was looking it up. That's the one that I've got all my memories of. That is the one that's burned in my head. The original Double Dragon.
Lives rent free, huh?
Yep.
I definitely play the hell out of it, but it's Double Dragon 3 for me. That's the one that really just is the crown.
No, what was Double Dragon 3 on?
The NES.
I'm looking that one up right now.
It was fantastic. But while you're looking that up...
Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh man. Sorry, I saw the cover art and immediately, Double Dragon 3 was so good.
Well, you got to choose now.
Double Dragon 2's cover art is the one that really like sticks out to me the most, but Double Dragon 3 is the game that was there for me that I really... It doesn't matter. So, with that, Chris, Cory, thank you guys so much. Everyone out there, thank you for listening. Thank you for taking the time. We appreciate it. Everyone, be safe. Have good... be good. Just be good. Just be good people.
Don't drink radioactive waste.
Don't do it. We've been Superannuated Starman.